Everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome to my F1 25 driver career mode. If you're more interested in seeing my team, however, that will be on a playlist on my channel, F1 25 My Team, and you can also find the driver career mode playlist if you want to stick with this career mode, or hey, please feel free to watch them both. So it's a full season for our first season. I'd like to try and keep up a tradition where we do the full season in the first, and after much consideration, we will be driving for Atlassian Williams Racing. So we have one goal here: make Williams great again. And unlike other career modes where we flip between teams, we're going to take Williams and we're going to try and turn them into world champions again.
Finally, let's do this for real. Sorry it took so long. You know what these legal types are like? Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's 80 pages of needless jargon, sir. Anyway, believe it or not, this is my excited face. Come on, come on. Let me show you what we've got. So, all the usual stuff. Merchandising, likeness, blah, blah, blah. But the really juicy stuff is their expectation of you. They need you to challenge yourself all season, be the best you can be, dominate your teammate, become a legend. All that jazz. Now, it's over to you.
For some reason, the music would not record. As I used the PS5 to record, so when I recorded it and the music didn't come with it, I had to improvise in editing. Right, straight to a practice session then to capture the feel of this Williams, and it feels pretty good. As I established in my team, the handling feels like the best of both worlds between F1 23 and F1 24. And also, you find yourself having to make more corrections mid-corner. You're more prone to locking mid-corner, so it's a bit of a different beast to that which has come before, as you now see in practice me trying to navigate Nico Hulkenberg and having moments while doing so. Nico, do you mind? I'm on my own practice program here, and you are getting in my fudging way. But yes, it is a different beast, and I enjoy it though. I enjoy the handling model. But there's also another challenge as I have another moment in practice. Tyre wear can be a lot harsher if you're pushing too hard. So the tyre wear is, you have to watch it at all times. And as we go into FP3, this is a general representation of where we're gonna be. And this really took me by surprise, because we were P2, about 2.5 tenths off of Oscar Piastri. And at this stage I'm thinking, okay, we're going to have to up the difficulty, because we were on 95 at the time, and we do move up to 98. Anyway, this is it. This is where all the talk stops, and the stopwatch does the talking. It's the first qualifying of this career mode. I'm feeling confident. I genuinely feel like we can be in Q3 here. The Williams is pretty decent in this configuration, in this game. So, I genuinely think we can be early contenders for points and maybe even sneak a top 5 or 2 in the early stage of the season. But for now, let's see where we're at. You know, it's all good me giving my opinion and saying where I think we'll be, but this is where we find out where we actually are. And this is the first flying lap in qualifying, and so far it feels really good. The car, it's got a nice feel to it. The lap feels solid so far. Purple first sector, we're very strong in that first sector. And as we go to the second sector, it's green, but it's still good, and I'm more than confident this will get us through Q1 easy, despite going just a tiny bit deep round that corner, round the other right-hander, heading towards the left. This should be comfortably through into Q2 as we kiss the apexes beautifully out of that final. Oh, I could not have done any better out of there. Also, I decided in this career mode to add the Connor Sport drivers. You have the options of adding either the team from the movie, which I forget what it's called, and you also have the option of adding the Connor Sport drivers. I elected to add Connor Sport as an 11th team, so we've got the additions as well of Aiden Jackson and Callie Mayer. And so Callie Mayer becomes the first woman to join the Formula One grid. It's all exciting, isn't it? Anyway, as we now head round the final few corners in Q2, sorry, should I say. This is another lap that is feeling very, very good. Look at that. Look at the exit out the final corner. The car, it's doing everything I want it to. This is feeling incredible for such an early stage. And look, second place. I've upped the difficulty to 98, and we're still in the top 2 there. That's incredible. This car is really feeling strong. And is there a chance for a cheeky front couple of rows on debut? This is insane. This is way above anything that I expected as we now head round at the end of the first sector. And it's only green this time. And we've clipped the inside wall and we're going round. No! It's a mistake in Q3. And into the wall we go. And that ends our lap. And what could have been really strong top 5 material, it's P10. But still happy to be in the top 10 for the first race.
The winter is over. It's time for Formula One 2025. Yes, that long break that you've all been coping with so well can now be put to the back of your minds. It's on-track action and it's off-track drama. That's what we're looking forward to. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, George Russell, and Hamilton. Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Albon, and Joker. Bortoletto, Jackson, Liam Lawson, and Ocon. Doohan, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, and Lance Stroll. Behrman, Mayer, Hadjar, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? So I'm sure there'll be plenty to talk about this afternoon, and who's going to talk about it with us? None other than Naomi Schiff. Hi, Naomi. As much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
This is always such an exciting time in the season. First of all, it's the first time they'll be racing their new cars. So that's always an exciting thing for drivers to look forward to. But also, they've had a long time off during the winter break. So it's about dusting the cobwebs off, getting the rust off of their bones, and really getting their elbows out there and having some fun.
This is it. 29 laps. The Australian Grand Prix, and we will be underway Now! It's a good start. It's very good for us. Albon not so good. Antonelli trying to cover as we're having a look to the inside of Hamilton. No space there. And we're on the grass as Aiden Jackson in the Connor Sport catching me off guard round the outside. And Albon getting past too. So I want to have a look at getting back past my teammate if I can. Down the inside we go. And Albon fighting me harder there. He keeps P10. And I'm having a look, and Bortoletto right behind me. He's cooking up in P12. Gabriel Bortoletto, a solid start. But, yeah, oh, we've gone a bit wide. We've gone wide and onto the gravel. And Bortoletto is through. So is Ocon. And so is Jack Doohan. That's a disaster of an opening lap. And now coming through is Liam Lawson. Every driver, get out of my way. I'm Liam Lawson. I'm Liam Lawson. I'm trying to hold it out to the inside. That's an illegal overtake though, so I've got to let Lawson back through. And also coming through is Fernando Alonso and Yuki Tsunoda having a look. I'm trying to get back down the inside of Alonso. No way through there. We're side by side. I might just have to give this one up. Alonso holding it out brilliantly round the outside. It's a disaster for us. We're down to P16. That is not where we want to be by any stretch of the imagination. But now we're having another go at Fernando Alonso. Surely here we can sweep round the outside and take the position. That is exactly what we have done. But this is not the start we wanted to this Australian Grand Prix or this career mode. And I'm all over the place. Meanwhile, ooh, what's going on here? This is George Russell having a look at Oscar Piastri. 4P3 and sweeping round. Russell very strong here. Piastri losing the place as now we're trying to have a look at Liam Lawson down the inside with a very late dive. And Lawson is just trying to hang it out around the outside, but nothing in doing there. We move up to P14. I'm trying to get on with my race because I definitely feel like we've got the car for some points. And now we're having a go at Jack Doohan. A little cheeky look. No, Doohan's blocked that one off. Some good defending there by the Australian in his home race. And we now head up once again. And we're going to have a go once again at Jack Doohan. He's got DRS open, so have I. He's covering the inside. I'm switching to the outside. And we're going to go round the outside of Doohan. Have we made it work? Not quite yet. Doohan's still on the inside. Side by side. We've got a bit wide. And Doohan's tagged us! Doohan has tagged us and down more places we go. Through goes Tsunoda, Lawson and Behrman. And we're back down to 18th. How is this going so wrong? I thought I left Doohan plenty of space, but he tagged me and we went off. I want a full steward's investigation into that as we now start attacking Oliver Behrman. And there's a car off here. It's Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc has had a spin by the looks of it. Let's get a replay. He's right behind Hamilton. And round the Ferrari goes Charles Leclerc, dropping, well, pretty much the vast majority of the field. That's a disaster for him as well. Former teammates in previous career modes, and it's all going wrong. Meanwhile, Max Verstappen is now attacking Lando Norris for the lead, and Max Verstappen is taking the lead. Verstappen leading this Australian Grand Prix. How are we only 6 laps into this, and there's been this much drama? This is more drama in this short 6 laps than we saw pretty much through the entirety of my F1 24 career mode. So here we go now on Oliver Behrman taking the place. That was a bit aggressive, but diving down the inside to take P17. It's all out action all the way here. And now we're riding on board with Lando Norris. He's not done with Max Verstappen. He wants the lead back. Here comes Lando. Let's go, Lando. Is he going to take it? Yes, he is. Round the outside of Verstappen. And there was no stopping that. Not even if you're Max Verstappen. Meanwhile, back with us, it's P16. And it's still looking fairly miserable as down the inside Tsunoda looks. Nothing in doing there as he's trying to pass Bortoletto. I'm now trying to shape up a move on the Japanese driver, and we're going to have a look down the inside, and Tsunoda, well, he just didn't see that coming. Caught napping a little bit, and we move up into P15, so it's starting to look a little better for us as now we get ready to overtake Gabriel Bortoletto. This will be candy from a baby. It is! And we move up to P14. Bortoletto, not a lot he could do about that. We got a little bit out of shape out of the corner, but we were still able to gain the position. Lawson Alonso and battling. My tyres, however, are absolutely cream crackered, so I'm pitting in now and committing early to a 2-stop. So we're taking off the mediums, putting on some softs, and I'm also changing my front wing because Doohan did a bit of damage to it, so cheers for that, Jack. And back into the race we go, albeit stone dead last and committing to a 2-stop. I'm not sure that's going to work out for us, but we'll give it a bash anyway. And this was, I'll be honest, I recorded this before I recorded my team career mode, as we now attack Nico Hulkenberg. We're going to be side by side with Nico Hulkenberg, and we're going to be overtaking Nico Hulkenberg. Bit of a brave one there, because I was worried he was going to come across and we were going to end up with a big chop and a crash, but it didn't happen like that. But yeah, this was one of my first 50% races on the game, so I was still working out the tyres, and I went a bit too hard too early, not only just on the mediums that we started on, but these softs too, and they're starting to feel a bit worn. But that's not stopping us from catching Gabriel Bortoletto off guard and sending it down the inside, moving up into P18. Great manoeuvre, I made it look easy, yeah, cheers for that. And now we're trying to hunt down Kimi Antonelli, but here's the thing, these softs are cooked, and Aiden Jackson is on my right, and he's coming back past me in the Connor Sport car. Nothing I could do about that, although we might be able to have a look coming down towards the tight right-hander, but I got on the curb, and that slowed my momentum down a bit. I'm not going to try and fight Aiden and lose too much time. We're on a different strategy, and I'm going to be honest, I think for this race, we are just about cooked. So on to a set of hard tyres now. I was hoping to go medium, soft, medium, and that the soft would go to about lap 17, but that really did not happen at all. And I feel like we'd have been in puncture territory if we stayed on the softs any longer, because they were just cooked. So now we're on hards, we're in stone dead last, and just wondering where it all went wrong. I really thought points would be a sure thing this weekend. Right, we've got a car slowing down in front, we've got a yellow flag, and I can barely see what's going on there. Hadjar stuck behind him, and I had to take some sudden avoiding action there, and I just kissed the barrier. Is the car okay? It appears to be, but I did not see where Hulkenberg was. I couldn't see for the smoke, and I just about recognised where he was as we now attack Pierre Gasly and get past him relatively easy, actually. So I think Gasly might be nursing an issue of his own. But Hulkenberg right in the middle of the road there. Hadjar another side, so I had to really think fast to avoid a crash there. I guess that's what the yellow flags mean by slow down and be prepared to stop. Right, Behrman's been caught out at turn 1, and we're going to take advantage of that. But look at the exit. Behrman got off the corner. That's insane. As we have a look down the inside, no way through there. We've got Behrman and Stroll to overtake. I didn't see who came out the pits in front of him. I think it might be the other half of Esteban Ocon, but I'm at the moment shaping up Ollie Behrman. I'm getting ready to take Lance Stroll with him. Here we go, Behrman. Are we going to be able to get past him here? I should hope so. Right behind Ollie Behrman, then switching to the outside. Round the outside we go. He's boxed in behind Stroll, and we're going to take a look down the inside of Stroll and see them both off. What an overtake. Oh, that's a bit of a specialist place for my double overtakes there. If you've seen my Team career mode opener, you'll know what I'm talking about. But that was a great move. Up into P15. Next up is Callie Mayer in P14 in the Connor Sport, and we are catching her by about a second to a second and a half a lap, so passing her should be straightforward. Hadjar in 15th is also staying with us, so Hadjar's got some great pace as we head to the closing stages of this Australian Grand Prix. But here we go, Callie Mayer, this is for P14, and we're going to have a look down the inside. Mayer tries to defend, but there's no use in that. We take P14 with a good dive down the inside, pretty textbook, and now we're going to push on and see if there is any possibility in catching Sonoda, Ocon and co, and they're catching Acura cars as well, so that could come to us, but unfortunately, in order to catch those cars, we needed a couple more laps, and I'll be honest, in these closing stages, again, the tyres, they're in the late 70s, so I really had to take care to ensure the left front in particular did not puncture, but in the end, a couple more laps and we'd have caught them. It's going to be P14 in this first race. I feel like, given that there was potential to be in the top 5 in quali, we should have done so much more today. I think we were capable of so much more there. So I do feel like we've left performance on the table, but it's a learning process. Driver of the day, are you serious?
The fans rise to their feet. It's Lando Norris for victory.
Well, they kept us guessing during pre-season testing. We all wondered who it was going to be, and to have them drawn out here today, that they are the ones to beat, just goes to show that all the work they put in has really counted.
From lights out to the checkered flag, this is what they're racing for. It's points and a trip to the podium. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today.
As a whole, a race to forget then, and I feel like without the little mistakes and the collisions we had in that race, and maybe with better tyre wear, we could have been around where Albon is, maybe even P6, but it wasn't meant to be in the end. But the pace is strong, there are positives to take, it's just that was not our race, and I think we need to take that and build upon that and do better next time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and hit subscribe if you're new here. Until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care and enjoy the rest.